Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video I'm going to be talking about quote unquote how I snatched back after having 2 kids. Basically how I got back into shape after having 2. I get this question so much on my Instagram. A lot of girls ask me, and I avoid this question so much because I'm not an expert. I don't want to say the wrong thing. I am like, all of these things that I know are from personal experience or from my own research online, also part from my doctor, but making that clear for all of you guys that, you know, might not agree or anything. But first things first, let me tell you a little bit about myself. I'm 21 and I have 2 kids. I have a 3-year-old, he's about to turn 3, and I have a I have a 7-month-old. I was about to say, is she 8 months old already? No, she's 7 months. So yeah, I gave birth last year in December. So first I'm gonna get into while I was pregnant, because I feel like this has a lot to do with, you know, after pregnancy, but this has to do with stretch marks. Now, I hear a lot that stretch marks are, you know, hereditary. You get them regardless if you took care of yourself or not, if you add creams or not. But I feel like I can debunk that, just because, like I said, I have 2 kids. So with my son, you know, obviously in my head, like everybody was telling me, oh, it's hereditary, you're gonna get them regardless if you take care of yourself or not. So I didn't take care of myself, because in my head I was like, why am I gonna add all of these creams, waste money on them, if I'm gonna get them regardless? You know, I'm gonna just, if I get them, I get them, if I don't, I don't, whatever. That was my mindset. And now I'm like, crap, the stretch marks that I do have, they're all from my son, because I did not take care of myself. And I remember people saying, don't scratch yourself when you start getting itchy. You know, when you start growing bigger and bigger, you tend to get itchy because your skin is stretching. Which I did take care of myself with that. I wasn't ever scratching. But I didn't add any creams or lotions or none of that. And I ended up getting so many stretch marks from him. I have some stretch marks right here. This is nothing. They were actually way darker. It's been almost 3 years, so they obviously faded a lot. I have some on both sides. And I have some right here. They're very, very faint, but they're definitely there. Yeah, my point is that with my son, I didn't take care of myself and I definitely got them. Now, when I got pregnant with my daughter, I told myself, you know what, I don't want to get any more. I feel like I already have a lot and I don't want to get any more. So I'm going to say F it and I'm going to take care of myself. I'm going to go for it. I bought oil, a buttercream, and guys, I did not get one stretch mark from this girl. And I personally feel like I was bigger with my baby girl than I was with my son. I was definitely bigger. I didn't get one, okay? One. Which is crazy to me because I tested the theories, you know? Like, I feel like if it was hereditary, which I do believe it is hereditary, but I really think there is ways for you to avoid it, like I did. So I'll put the links down below of what I used. I used bio oil. I think this is the order. I'm pretty sure this is the order. Yeah, it has to be. So I would do bio oil first all over my belly. I do it 2 times a day. Okay, girl, 2 times a day. If you could do it 3, do it 3. I think you're supposed to do it 3 times, but I didn't do it 3 times. I did it 2 times. So I would add bio oil all over my belly, and I would get low, girl, like low, because you tend to get stretch marks very, very low, all over, you know, my hips, over here, like everywhere. Bio oil. After I do that, I would add the Palmer's cocoa butter stretch mark cream. I forgot what it's called. Like I said, everything will be down below. I'd add that. I'll put it all over, and guys, it'll be like uncomfortable. Like you're not sticky, but you're moist. So I would typically leave my shirt up and just kind of let it kind of like air out. Not air out, but kind of dry. And then I would, like, you know, put my shirt back down. But I would do this in the morning before work, and then I would do it at night before I go to bed. So yeah, I mean, I feel like there's a way to prevent it. If anything, you might still get them, but way less than if you don't put anything on. Do it at your own risk, you know. You don't lose anything. I really feel like if I would have done this in the beginning with my son, I would not have these stretch marks. I really do feel that way. But, you know, whatever. One of the things I want to touch on that's main and very important and is not talked about enough is ab separation. It's called, if you want to look more into it, do your own research, which I 100% recommend. Do not go off by just what I'm saying. I really recommend you do your own research. This is called diastasis recti. I could be 100% pronouncing it very wrong, but it's basically whenever your abs separate. So whenever you're growing a baby inside of you, girl, everything is separating. Your ribs, your abs, like, they're separating. They're not nice and tight together anymore. No, they start separating because they make room for your baby to grow. Okay, our bodies are meant to do this. Now, whenever you push the baby out, the baby comes out. Not all of the time, your abs don't always go back together. A lot of the time, they stay separated. So that's why a lot of people don't get their snatched waist back anymore, because their abs aren't together anymore. So you have more of a square, you know, or you have that pouch that a lot of people struggle to get rid of. So what do you do if that's your case? First, I recommend whenever you go get cleared from your doctor, you know, after, I think it's like after a month you give birth, you go back to your doctor so he can clear you. Go ahead and ask them if you have that, okay? A lot of doctors do not talk about this enough. I don't know why. I don't know what the deal is. I don't know. They don't talk about a lot of things, but this is one of the main things that isn't brought up. That's why I recommend you guys to ask if you have that. I did it. I did not know about this with my first son. I didn't. I knew about this with my daughter. And thankfully, I did not suffer from this as much as others. I did have it. I feel like everybody has a little bit of it. But some people suffer from it a lot, especially if you get really big whenever you're pregnant. But yeah, ask your doctor about it. Ask them if you have it. They can probably check if you have it or not. There is a certain test you could do at home to determine if you have it or not. Do your own research, guys. I will link a video down below on how to test yourself if you have it. I did it. I ended up having a little bit with my girl. I don't know if I had it with my son, but I did have a little bit with my girl. I did the test and everything like probably 2 days before my doctor's appointment. And then I went into my doctor's appointment. I asked him, hey, tell me about this. Is there a way, you know, you could tell me? All he told me was, you look pretty thin, so I'm sure you don't have it, which is wrong. Just because I'm thin doesn't mean I don't have it, because my test that I did at home, I had it, you know? So I don't know if he just didn't want to test it or he didn't want to get into it. I don't know, but he definitely, I don't want to say he blew me off, because he did educate me a lot about it, but I feel like he did not actually, you know, care to look into it with me. And if he's doing that with me, then he's doing that with everybody. If that doctor's doing it, a lot of doctors are doing it. Whenever I was doing research about it, a lot of people spoke about how their doctors never mentioned it. Whenever they did, they would get blown off. I suggest you try and ask your doctor. If they're not paying attention to you, you can probably go to a specialist if you really think you have it, or you can do the test at home. Like I said, I'll link the video of the test at home. You basically just kind of lay down and you kind of sit up a little bit and like you measure with your fingers how deep your fingers go. Something like that. I haven't done it in a long time, girl. It's been a while. But yeah, I'll have that in the description box. But let's say, long story short, you have it, okay? There is exercises for you to do that target your inner core and bring your abs back together. It is not the same as regular ab exercises. Regular ab exercises do not target your inner core. You have to do certain exercises that are going to target the inner core and bring your abs back together. And that's how you get rid of your mom pooch. A lot of people like have that little mom pooch. If you don't know what I'm talking about, and it's basically a little belly you hold at the bottom that you just cannot get rid of after months after you give birth. You just have it and you just cannot get rid of it. I'm not talking about loose skin. I'm talking about like an actual like pouch. Loose skin, I don't want to talk about because I did not suffer from it. So I'm not gonna touch that subject. I don't want to say anything that I don't know or like mislead you guys, but that's another channel because I don't really know about that. I wish I did. I wish I could tell you guys about that, but I don't. You can get on TikTok and search up core rehab exercises, stuff like that, and you will basically find so many. Like TikTok is flooded with those videos now. I'm so glad it's getting the attention it needs now, because for a long time there wasn't any. I didn't have that information 3 years ago when I had my son. I didn't, but now I do, and I took care of that. I did those exercises before I started weightlifting and all of that. I made sure I focused on core rehab, and once I saw my tummy was at a place that I liked for it to be, I think there's a certain amount of time you're supposed to do it just to be sure you're fine before you even start weightlifting. I don't think I met that rule. I just kind of did it until I felt like my core was strong enough to finally start doing other things. But yeah, I went ahead and did these exercises, and then after I felt like I was fine, I did the test again. I did not, I passed the test. To me, like, I was like, okay, I think I'm ready for weightlifting. So now we are at weightlifting. I started weightlifting. Weightlifting engages your core a lot. If you do it the right way, you're supposed to engage your core. Even like if you're working on your legs, even if you're working like on your shoulders, like you engage your core for everything, okay? So, and what I mean by engage your core, this isn't a workout, how to work out video or anything. I'm just kind of gonna touch on this subject, but you brace your core. You kind of like, I don't know how to explain it to you guys. It's more of like, you need to feel it to know what I'm talking about, but you kind of brace your core, and whenever you just weightlift, like your core is tight, and at the same time you're working on your core. I don't do any ab exercises anymore. All I do is I weightlift. And in the beginning I was doing cardio, so whenever I was doing my rehab, my core rehab for my ab separation, I was also doing cardio, Stairmaster, walking, I would do that. But now I kind of not doing cardio as much as I should right now. I'm only doing weightlifting, but I definitely recommend to pair cardio after your workouts. I think it also depends on your personal goals. Like I said, this was probably like a month after I was cleared. I started weightlifting again, and I took it slow, guys. Do not start on like what your PR was before you got pregnant. No girl. Start slow, little. I felt like a little bee, and like, it's horrible. I shouldn't feel that way, but the weight that was lightweight to me before was heavy to me now. I had to start all over. Like, I said goodbye to my old like PRs and everything, because your body changed. Your body grew a human being. Like, it's kind of weaker, like you need to start from the bottom and work your way up. That's what I did. And yeah, every single week I would, it's called progressive overload. I would either do a little bit of more weight or I would do more reps. Typically it's always more weight for me. I always like, out of 10 on there. Like the next week, slowly, gradually work your way up, heavier weights, and pair that with cardio. You will build muscle and you will lose fat. Also, apart from the whole working out thing, your diet has a lot to do with it. Okay, I have a video on my YouTube channel of my glute and quad workout routine. If you guys want to check it out, I'll link it down below. If you guys want to see more gym content, let me know. I can see if I can do that for you guys. But apart from the whole working out thing, I think the main important thing has to do with your diet. I've heard before, and like, I agree with it 100%. Your body is going to change 70% with what you do in the kitchen and 30% with what you do at the gym. I agree with that, because it's important. Like, what you put in your body is going to show it. Okay, it's so important. But what I did was when I started weightlifting, I started tracking again. I use the app MyFitnessPal. I have a video on my YouTube of what I eat in a day, and I get more into detail of how I track, what I do, you know, to make it more convenient for myself. So go check that out. But I'll link it in the description box. But it has a lot to do, guys. I don't want you guys to have a bad relationship with carbs. Almost everywhere you go, everybody talks about like how carbs are bad and everything. I don't think carbs are bad. I feel like there's a balance to it. Carbs is literally your energy source. Like, carbs are energy. So eat your carbs, but focus on your protein. Eat the amount of protein you're supposed to eat. Weightlift. You will like build your dream body. Like, it'll take time. I'm not gonna say it's gonna get here in like freaking a month. No, it's not. It'll take time. But if you're consistent with that, you will see changes. As soon as you see changes, you're gonna be your own motivation. As soon as you see progress in yourself, you are gonna feel like, oh my God, like, let me keep going. If this is changing right now, where will I be in 2 months? You know, and you are your own motivation, okay? Don't compare yourself to other people. People have completely different stories, completely different routes, completely different like bodies than you, okay? Do not compare yourself. Let's say you have 5 kids. Don't compare yourself to somebody that has no kids. Don't compare your body to them. You grew, pushed out 5 kids. They didn't, okay? You are going to look different. You are different, okay? I am not belittling the person that doesn't have kids, and I'm not belittling the person that does have kids. No. Like, we're all equally important and everything and beautiful in our own ways, but don't compare yourself, because if you are comparing yourself, you aren't gonna get anywhere. You are just gonna be so stuck on, oh, they do that, they do this, I do the same workouts they do, why don't I look like them? No, don't do that. Genetics plays a big role of it, but it does not determine what you're gonna look like if you actually are putting effort into changing. Okay, so another thing I wanted to mention, which is really, really big, I don't know why I didn't mention it earlier, but I am now, is basically your quarantine, tu cuarentena. I am gonna be 100% honest with you guys. I was not strict with my cuarentenas one bit. I feel like cuarentenas are like enforced and very, very, very strict when it comes to, you know, Mexican households. But I wasn't strict at all with myself, and I remember my mom getting so mad at me because I was over here eating pork. You're not supposed to eat pork. You're not supposed to go outside. You're not supposed to go up the stairs. You're not supposed to do any kind of effort. You're not supposed to pick up anything that's heavy. Girl, I would pick up my son. I would do laundry. I would clean. I would sweep. I would cook. I would open the fridge. I've heard like you're not even supposed to open the fridge due to like the cold air hitting you. Like, Mexican households are so strict with like quarantine and stuff like that. I wasn't, and I came out just fine. So do as you want to do. Like I said, I remember my mom was so mad at me. Like, she would be like, no, don't do that. Like, I'll do your laundry. And I would be like, if I wait around for you to do my laundry, then like you have other things to do. You have to go to work. I can't wait around. Like, my kid needs freaking clean clothes, you know? So I would just go do it. Like, I remember arguing with her and like, but I think it also plays a part, like when I said about the whole stretch cream part, do it, you know, you never know. Maybe it does have something to do, but yeah. Another thing I did right after I got home from the hospital, girl. I got home from the hospital with both of my kids, is I put on a faja, a waist trainer. I'll put the link of the exact faja I use in the description box. I'm pretty sure you can find something bougie, nicer that's meant to be for postpartum, but that one worked just fine for me, girl, okay? So right when I got home, I remember I put my faja on the farthest, is that how you say it? Basically, yeah, like on the farthest little like knot that you put on. And then every single week, I would wear it for 8 hours a day. Yeah, I would wear it for 8 hours a day. You're not supposed to wear it for long periods of time because it can be bad for you, but I know a lot of people wear it like almost all day. I'm telling you what I did. You do what you do what you believe in. So I only wear it for 8 hours a day, and then I would take it off. Every time I reached 1 week, I would go tighter. Okay, wear 8 hours a day every day. I reached 1 week, I would go even tighter. Okay, I think I started off with a small or a medium. I think it was a small though. Right whenever I fit the tightest one, I ordered my extra small. 1 week mark, put on my extra small, put it in the biggest one, and then 1 week later, go tighter. Another week later, go tighter. I didn't go any smaller than extra small because I was like, okay, it's kind of stretching it for my body size, you know? So I was like, okay, I'm gonna just stick with the extra small. So once I reached the smallest one in the extra small, I stick to that for as long as I remember. I honestly don't remember why I stopped, but I did. I think I was just fine with how I looked, and I was like, okay, I'm good. I don't need to be wearing this anymore. A lot of people do it just for their quarantine. I remember I extended it, you know, from my quarantine. Yeah, that's what I did, and I did that with both of my kids. I don't know if it did a difference. I feel like there's a lot of controversy on the internet with waist trainers. Right now, I don't believe in waist trainers. Like, it helped a lot postpartum. Not only do I feel like it helps, you know, like get everything out of you, like all of the blood. Compression on your stomach takes out all the blood and everything. So I feel like that helped a lot with that. Not only that, you just feel so good. You feel so tight and you feel good. Like, at least that's how I felt, okay? Now there's literally been like science behind this where like it doesn't really do anything to your body. You know, if anything, it causes harm. But I do not want any more kids at all. So, but let's say I do have another kid. I will most definitely be buying a waist trainer again and putting it on postpartum. I believe in it when it comes to that aspect, but when it comes to like, you know, it changing your body just cause you're wearing it casually, I don't believe it actually does. It makes you look good for a certain amount of time, but it's not gonna change your body, girl. It's not. But you know, if you believe in it, whatever. But yeah, I think those are all the key points I have down. Okay, yeah, that's all I have on my notes. Thank you guys so much for watching. Remember, I am no expert. Okay, and remember, everybody is different. Literally every body is different. So if one thing worked for me, it doesn't mean it's gonna work for you. So be nice to yourself, be patient, okay? Love yourself. You did so much for 9-10 months. Like, be nice to your body, okay? It did so much for you and your baby. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any questions within anything I just said, I will answer you in the description box, in the comment section. Or if you don't feel comfortable commenting, you can DM me. I will answer you. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys next week. Bye guys.